In a dramatic and unprecedented military operation codenamed Operation Absolute Resolve, United States forces launched coordinated air and special operations strikes in Venezuela in the early hours of January 3. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife, Cilia Flores, were captured by U.S. forces and transported to New York, where they will face federal court on drug trafficking and narco-terrorism charges. The operation included strikes on key military and infrastructure targets around Caracas and was confirmed by U.S. officials. Legal and political fallout in the U.S. Maduro's appearance before a federal court in Manhattan is scheduled following his arrival in the United States. President Donald Trump has publicly described the mission as a success and framed it as part of U.S. efforts to counter drug trafficking and regional instability. The administration has signaled that further pressure or action could follow if Venezuelan authorities do not cooperate with U.S. objectives. Regional and global reaction. The military operation and capture have reverberated internationally. Cuba reported that 32 Cuban officers were killed in the U.S. operation, sharply escalating regional tension. AP News. Brazil condemned the U.S. action as crossing an unacceptable line, emphasizing respect for sovereignty. Reuters. Other nations including China, Russia, Iran, Mexico, and Colombia have criticized the strikes as violations of international law or threats to regional stability, calling for de-escalation and diplomatic solutions. Gulf News. Acting Venezuelan President Delcy Rodriguez has publicly sought diplomatic engagement with Washington, emphasizing peace and mutual respect while maintaining Venezuela's claim to sovereignty. On the ground in Venezuela. In Venezuela's capital, Caracas, residents remain shaken. The strikes left parts of the city reeling with widespread fear among civilians and reports of infrastructure damage. Some Venezuelans expressed cautious hope at Maduro's removal, while others are fearful of further conflict or instability. The Venezuelan military's loyalty appears fractured, and the nation faces deep political and economic uncertainty. International law debate. Legal experts internationally are questioning whether the U.S. action, capturing a sovereign head of state and transferring him to U.S. jurisdiction, violates established norms of sovereignty and international law. Chatham House. U.S. strategy and regional impact. The operation highlights a shifting U.S. approach to Latin America, intertwining anti-drug policy with broader geopolitical objectives. Trump administration officials have hinted at further military pressure if political cooperation doesn't materialize. Humanitarian concerns. Analysts warn the conflict could worsen economic and social conditions in Venezuela, potentially fueling migration and humanitarian needs across the region. This conflict remains one of the biggest global security stories of the year, reshaping U.S. Latin America relations and raising significant questions about international norms, regional stability, and the future of Venezuelan governance.